I will say though, it is worth it, and I think I don't know, I feel like it not necessarily makes you a better person, but it just makes you like cooler with things and understanding, just because like you've had to actually do that, like, you know, actually be by yourself and like do your own thing, and, you know, not have like the help of like a bunch of other people. Like, you've done your own thing on tour. So Levi crapped his pants in Reno legitimately, and then was puking and passed out after because he was so sick. That was pretty, I mean, it wasn't funny, but it was like but it was, you know. One time, I'd say one of the, like, the most like pissed but like best moments was I had to drive first. It was the very beginning of a tour, and everybody the night before, you know, like hanging out with friends, you know, it's because it's the last night. I'm about to drive. I'm sitting in the driver's seat, and I'm like, this is stupid. I don't want to drive. This is retarded. Like, you know, just pissed. And I asked Jared to put the trailer on, and Jared, she's like, okay, cool, you know, like, I'm gonna go back there and put it on. So like, sitting there, and it's like, all right, we're ready to go. So start up the van, put it in, and like drive. We start going for like maybe 5 feet, and there's a big slam on the ground. Trailer falls, and I just like look back at Jared like, I'm pissed, but I'm like, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like, this is the funniest thing, but damn it, like, I don't want to be dealing with this right now. And I honestly don't know how, like did you guys pick it up or what? Like, like they pick up like a 2-ton trailer, like 5 or 6 of us picking that shit up. Like, I don't know. It was, that was funny. There's so many other things. I can't really think about just one specific thing.
My father got me into music. He used to stay up super late, just like down in the kitchen, and just put on like old CDs of like badass like classic rock bands, and then I would just sit in with him, and that's pretty much how I got into music from the get-go. I've kind of, as I got older, I kind of made it my own thing, and it wasn't like all the inspiration from the classic rock, I guess, but if you're asking where it started, that's pretty much where it all came from for me. My first show, let's talk about the garage show where I played bass and I had a toothpick in my mouth. It was pretty cool. I felt like pretty hard because there was like 30 people in one garage that's no bigger than like a living room or something. And like the whole thing was on film, and like I went home and I was like, dude, Dad, check this out. Like, there's a mosh pit, all this cool stuff. It was like so awesome. And then the next show was like a real show where I was actually in the band, and it was at our home venue, The Attic, where there was 10 kids, give or take. And it was crazy. The first show we've ever played was, it was a weird feeling. Oh, we get along. We get along great. It's true, like being on tour, you do live with your best friends all the time, and I mean, there's always ups and downs for sure when it comes to like personalities clashing, but for the most part, we do pretty well. We're pretty good friends, and we're all very like, we're very open to everyone's attitudes about everything. And I mean, some things will slip here and there, and someone will get like, we'll get into our scuffles and arguments, but who doesn't? It's pretty much normal, I guess. But yeah, we get along great. I love all my dudes.
I guess I started noticing that we were different from all the other bands when we were just getting more attention from the crowd. People were, you know, paying more attention to our band rather than others, and also we just didn't give up. A lot through, when we were a local band, through the whole time that we were a local band, we saw tons of our friends' bands just give up, and they just quit playing music, but we stuck with it, and I think that really, really helps us out, because it shows that, you know, we're willing to strive for what we really want, so we're not giving up. I was excited, but also nervous too, because there's so many horror stories of, you know, bands getting record deals and dropping out of high school and then their bands just quit. But now, I mean, it was the right choice now, obviously, from how far we've come. And it's just one of those things that you just sort of had to do. Just go for it, and turned out good for us. I mean, we didn't give up, so. I was excited to leave. I knew that a lot of the guys' parents and my parents also were just not too excited on the whole deal because, you know, it's not every day that someone's kids go out and, hey, I'm gonna go out on the road and with pretty much $0 and live in a van and sleep at strangers' houses each night. But I was excited. The first tour turned out really good. We thought it was going to be really scary, but after the first few days of tour, it was really comfortable. Felt like this is what we should be doing.
Oh yeah, you started with little Fisher-Price keyboards and guitars, and then you got your first bass. I think you were 10, bass guitar. You played the cello. I always had you surrounded with music, pretty much daily. The first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, did I make you that angry? That was honestly my first, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it was you, but I love metal, so I dig it, it's brutal. It was awesome. I've seen you grow. Like, I went to the first show where there wasn't maybe 10 people, and then going to the shows like at Rocket Town where they're all singing, the crowd's singing every word, and I've just seen you guys grow, and it's awesome. Was I worried? I'm more worried about labels ripping you guys off than anything. I completely support. I think it's awesome. We get to travel and see the world and meet new people and just experience things that most people don't get the chance to. Oh, the spring break. I supported it. I never gave you much crap about it. I just said, please graduate. That was my biggest thing, is I wanted you to finish school. I never wanted you to give up music, ever. You know, I fought for you in past relationships who were fighting against you being in music at that age, but I could think of a lot worse things you could have been doing than making music, so I've always backed you. What's crazy is I remember taking you to the shows. I remember taking you to shows, and now you're playing with the bands that you loved and I took you to. So just the fact that, you know, in these different countries, they know the words to your songs. Some of them don't even speak English, but they know the words to your songs. That's phenomenal.
When he was 5, he used to play imaginary guitar. Always showed off in front of he had to make sure everybody was watching, so he'd turn off the TV and tell everybody to be quiet because he was going to put on a show. And he was real big on Garth Brooks, and he knew all of Garth Brooks songs, wore his cowboy hat and his cowboy boots, and he tramped through the house all the time, singing anything and everything. I didn't like it. I can honestly say, I mean, I listen to it because he plays it, but it's not my cup of tea. But you know, that's what he wants. I'm excited about it. I brag about him all the time. I work in an assisted living community, and he worked there when he was younger, and I talk about it all the time. Everybody asks, you know, how's Ryan doing, and all the people that I work with, these, you know, he's their fan on Facebook, and I show the videos and all the different pictures and things like that on, and they're, you know, I'm just real proud of him. He's become a lot more than I thought he would ever be. I'll be the first one to eat crow to say that he was not going to make it. And he's done it, and I'm proud of all of you. You've all done a great job. I felt better with you guys than I did the first time. I was scared the first time, but after you know, you guys made your first trip around, I'm not crazy about the overseas tours. You know, there's a lot of things going on in the world that we don't understand, and I'm afraid you guys are going to get mixed up in it. But, you know, you're big boys. I think you can take care of yourself. I'm so jealous. I am so jealous of everything that he has seen and done. I mean, it's just amazing.
So you never thought he'd be like,
oh, heavens no. Heavens no. I'd never thought of that.
I was happy that he was playing guitar because his dad plays guitar. My dad plays guitar, my brother, and his brother. So it's kind of like a family tradition thing. When I seen him play live, I was proud of him. I don't really get into the music, but because he plays, I love it. I understand it better, I guess, now that he plays, and I know all you boys and everything. You're all good boys. Well, at first I thought maybe it was something that I didn't really think it was legit at first. When I first heard about it, after we went to the meeting, all the parents, you know, I realized this is a real deal. And I knew that all of you boys were committed because you had all thought it out very well. You're all very business-minded. It wasn't just this thing for fame and fortune. You were looking at this as a career, as a job, so that made a big difference. I was a little concerned. I think all of us parents were. We were afraid maybe you might get stranded out, van breakdown. You know, you don't know what's out there. The world isn't a very pretty place. So we were kind of scared for you, but it was exciting because you boys have went places I've never been and experienced things that I never will. And I think, especially after you came back your first tour, you were, I know for Justin, very more mature.
Very apprehensive, not really sure as to where it was going to go, and a little bit leery of the kind of things that are out there that he might get involved with, just worried about little stuff. It's strange. It's still a little weird. I mean, knowing that your son's on that album. Like, we went to the record store the other night, we saw the Miss May I albums there. It was just strange because, you know, I don't look at Justin as famous. He's Justin to me. He always will be. He's my son. But it just seems just kind of strange, overwhelming sometimes to think about that. Yeah, I think I became more comfortable with it, but still, I'm going to worry. That's what parents do. We worry about their kids, and but I began to accept it more and more. That you guys you're making it, you're doing it.